Hey, what's up? It's Crowder. I'm coming to you through the internet machine, and you might not know this, but it used to be my claim to fame. I peaked. I was in the WNL band, the Wednesday Night Live band. I was in that. It was amazing. It's the best thing ever. However, I am not watching WNL Online, but you should.
WNL, we are so glad that you are here. Make sure that you stay till the end because we have some exciting news about camp, so you don't want to miss it. We'll see you at the end.
Hey guys, it's Jason, and we're back with another week of Double Dog Dare. I have with me this week, Marte. Woo! So Bob just walked in with this bag of unknowns. He just got back from HEB, and we have no clue what's in this bag.
No idea.
And so this week, we are playing What's in the Box. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Oh my God. Is that you? That's you! What? It's it's mozzarella cheese stick.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not?
Jolly Ranchers, nothing like that? Play-Doh?
Not Play-Doh.
Oh, I broke it.
Oh no.
It's candy.
Is it candy? It's a Twizzler. No, it's not
Twizzler. It's sticky now. What about a sweet tart rope? Oh,
Ding, ding, ding! That's
Oh, here we go. Oh my God!
Oh, that's a loofah. Whoa.
That's cold. That is cold. I don't like it.
That's a shrimp.
Ding, ding, ding! 3 for Mark.
3. Okay, Mark, I'm gonna punch you. 2, 1, go. It's soft. There's a feather. What is it? Is it like a...
A rabbit's tail.
What? Pull it. What's that? I got it.
Here.
What do you... Why'd you...
I literally don't know what this is.
It's a luau. No, it's not. I don't know what this is.
It's like a...
Feather boa. Feather boa.
Yeah.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. There's something in there. It's like a dip. It's like a, it is definitely
It's a...
queso. Is it queso?
Beans.
Beans, magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you do.
It's like canned tuna or canned ham or...
No, I think it's like spinach artichoke.
Oh, it's alive!
It's not alive. Do you dip it?
No.
Is it like a starch?
No, it's something very nasty, I'm
It's
sure.
gross.
You put gravy on it.
Put gravy on it. It has to be
Turkey.
no,
Chicken.
not turkey. Mashed potatoes. Are we done?
No.
It better not be out.
All right. 3, 2, 1. My gosh! It's a fish! It's a fish! No! That wraps it up for Double Dog Dare for this week. We'll see you next week.
It's a tilapia.
Salmon. I don't like this. Hey. Hey guys.
Hey guys, I'm Anna and I'm a senior at Midway. just wanted to talk a little bit about gratitude and being grateful for what you have in this time. I think it's important that we talk about this because in this season, it can be really difficult to look on the bright side and be grateful for the things that we have been given. But I think it's really important. And so I just wanted to speak a little bit about that today. When I was preparing for this, I was going through my journal and I came across a sermon that I heard back in November, and it was all about gratitude. And one of the things that just really resonated with me was that gratefulness is in the gap between your reality and your expectations. So basically what that means is that if you're expecting one thing and you get more than your expectations, then you're super, super grateful for it. But vice versa, if you're expecting one thing and you get less than what you were expecting, you're no longer grateful for it and you don't see it as a blessing because you were expecting more. We are being blessed, even in this moment. We are being given so many blessings, but we can't really see them because they're just our normal, just hanging out with friends or food or your family. These are things that are normal to us, but in a lot of other places, they're not normal. I got to see that, especially when I went to Namibia this past summer. And I just think that we should always have that in mind. One of the quotes from this sermon that I heard was, "Be grateful for the things and people you have in your life. Things you take for granted, someone else is praying for." And I think even in this time when so many things are being taken away, we're also being given a lot. We're given extra time with God. We're given extra time with our families, new creative ways to hang out with one another and, be the church. And I think that it's important to be grateful for the things that we're being given, especially in this time. So just a little practice that I want to encourage you to do is just to every day write down 3 things that you're grateful for. I've been starting to do this, and it's just kind of helped change my perspective on things. And I just wanted to challenge you guys to do that too, and to move forward in this season with gratitude. That's it. Thanks.
Hey guys, I'm so excited to be back for another week of the Ducky Awards. This week we're going to be giving out...
This week, I'm going to be doing the Ducky Awards. No, I'm doing the Ducky Awards. Our first one is the superlatives. Most likely to be an astronaut is Briley Bottoms, our space girl. Super scientific and fun she is. She's a senior at Midway, and she's pretty awesome. Go to space, girl. The next superlative is who is most likely to drop their phone in the toilet. That one goes to Lincoln Fisher. He is a 7th grader at Midway Middle School.
Here, let me text you.
Mom.
Now we have our last Ducky Award. Come on guys, we're all in this together. And our Good Samaritan Award goes to Natalie Bull. She is a junior at Eagle Christian, and she's been posting a lot of encouraging things during this tough time. Good job, Natalie. We're so proud of you.
We love ya. Congrats.
And that's all for this week of the Duckies.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
That's all for the Duckies.
Say it again. No.
Hey everyone, we're so glad you're here tuning in with us. We're going to do some worship now, and I just wanted to encourage you and remind you that the same God that makes you feel all these things when you're worshiping here with us or at Sunday's camp is the same God that's there with you in your room, in your backyard, with your friends, wherever you're at. So I encourage you to just sing out and really engage, because I promise you, you can feel the same thing there in your home as you do whenever you're with us. So. We're heaven's born creations, His pride and adoration, treasures woven by His love. His careful hands, they hold us safe within His promise of calling and of destiny. We're heaven's fun creations, His pride and adoration, treasures woven by His love. His careful hands, they hold us safe within His promise of calling and of destiny. And I will sing of all You've done, and I'll remember how far You've carried me from beginning until the end. You are faithful, faithful to the end. A father's heart that's for me, a never-ending story of love that's always chasing me. His kindness overwhelming and hope for me unending. He's never given up on me. Yeah. And I will sing of all You've done, and I'll remember how far You've carried me from beginning until the end. You are faithful, faithful to the end. And I will sing of all You've done, and I'll remember how far You've carried me from beginning until the end. You are faithful, faithful to the end. Until the end. Until the end. You are faithful, You are faithful until the end. There wasn't a day that You weren't by my side. There wasn't a day that You let me fall. In all of my life, Your love has been true. With all of my life, I will worship You. There wasn't a day that You weren't by my side. There wasn't a day that You let me fall. In all of my life, Your love has been true. With all of my life, I will worship You. I will worship You. I will worship You. I will worship You. And I will sing of all You've done, and I'll remember how far You've carried me from beginning until the end. You are faithful, faithful to the end.
God is love. Remember when you were in preschool and that was probably the first memory verse you ever had? God is love. Just a real simple verse with 3 words. Probably did something on construction paper with stars and glitter, but this God is love. Such a simple verse, yet very profound. In fact, way back in preschool, as you were learning your first memory verse, you were also learning your first theological statement. God is love is a profound theological statement of just who God is as we begin to ascribe attributes to him, trying to discover who he really is and what he is in our lives. God is love. The psalmist said it like this. He said, the loving kindness of God endures all day long. Loving kindness, actually 2 words, love and kindness. You can actually separate those out. You think about kindness, you think about kindness as being the desire to see other people happy. No matter what they do, we just want them to be happy because we're trying to be kind to them, to see them happy. Now, if we separate those out, we realize that with kindness, it cares not really whether the person necessarily is good or bad. It just cares that they are not suffering, that they're content. That's called an act of kindness. It's like this. Let's say that a horse breaks its leg, and it's a severe break, and it's probably not going to mend easily. Many times the owners of that horse will, as an act of kindness, will put that horse down. Now, let's say that you broke your leg, and it was a bad break, and it wasn't healing properly, and you were in a lot of pain. It would not be an act of kindness for your parents to put you down because they can't separate the love from the kindness, the loving kindness. And as we start to dig into who God's love is for us, realize that God is love, and he is something much more than kindness. In fact, C.S. Lewis said that really we might be tempted to say that he loves us too much. Let's dig into this. Now, how does it impact people who do not experience the radical love of God, who never feel that? Let's say if you take a bird and you take it out of the air and you put it into a Ziploc bag and you zip it up and you lay it down there on the ground, what's going to happen to the bird? Well, what's going to happen is eventually the bird will die and rot. If you take a fish out of the water and do the same thing, put it in a Ziploc bag, zip it up, lay it there on the bank of the river, even though it's right next to the water, because it's not in the water, what's going to happen to that fish? It will rot and die. And if you take a person and remove them from the radical love of God, guess what happens? They will rot and die. In Proverbs it says, what a man desires is unfailing love. I like that term, unfailing love. Love that never fails. Other versions say steadfast love, but I like that idea of unfailing love. Love that never fails. We're wired that way. We desire that. That's the way God created us. Everybody from the most precious child learning their memory verse in preschool, God is love, to the most hardened criminal on death row, and everybody in between, we all share these deep, deep longings to experience unfailing love. But the very next chapter of Proverbs says, many a man claims to have unfailing love, but a faithful man, who can find it? And what the scripture is saying is, guess what? We desire it. We have this deep longing for it. We want love to never fail, but as we grow older, we discover that even the most primary sources of love for us will fail us. Anybody we can see with our eyes is not capable of giving to us love that never fails. Now, where do we go? God offers us the love that we need. Look at the psalmist here in Psalm 52. He says, behold, the man who would make God his refuge, but trusted in the abundance of his riches and was strong in his evil desire. But as for me, I am like a green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the loving kindness of God forever and ever. The Hebrew word here is hesed. Hesed, which means to bend or to bow oneself, hence to be gracious and merciful. And it denotes unbelievable parental affection of God for his children, the love of a parent for a child. That's what it really means, this loving kindness. Now, I was looking at Instagram this past Sunday and watching all the tributes that people were giving to their mother on Mother's Day. And it was cool to see what people had to say and how important mothers were in their lives. I didn't get to see my mother. My mother is in a memory care center in Fort Worth, and I haven't got to see her since the end of February. But I do know this: I can never express just how much her love for me means to me. When I go to see her, she can't remember what we talked about 2 minutes earlier, but throughout our time together, she's constantly saying, "I love you, Bob. I love you, Bob. I love you, Bob." And it never gets old. It never feels redundant. I can never hear it enough because her love for me taught me, changed me, influenced me, sustained me. It was a little glimpse of the eternal love that God has for his children. Now, not all parents are as great as my mom. That's obvious. Many times I've heard a dad just verbally abusing his son from the bleachers of a sporting event. And I'm thinking, why are you doing that? I mean, that's not what he needs from you. Let his coach yell at him. He needs support from you. How often did I, with my own daughter, overlook a mistake that she made on a volleyball court or in a dance recital? And when she brought it up later on, she would say, "Did you notice when I messed up?" I said, "No." It's a little white lie. I said, "No, I didn't see that. You were great." What she needed from me at that time was just my love and support, radical love that would help her be able to not feel bad about herself because of the mistake she made. Now, we do make mistakes in life, no doubt about it, but we have to fight through these stereotypes that would influence how we feel about God, because the Father of the universe is filled with loving kindness, love, kindness, goodness, mercy. And he chooses to hesed, to bend down, to stoop down and touch and love his children. It is true. But he does want us to change. He wants us to be better. In fact, he loves us how we are, but he will change us to how he wants us to be. He loves us how we are, but he will change us to how he wants us to be. There's a book I like called The Two Sides of Love, and it talks about that there's a hard side of love and a soft side of love. And the hard side of love is the love of a parent for a child, which says, "I want you to do better, so I'm going to correct you. I'm going to discipline you. I'm going to help you be better." That's the hard side. The soft side of love is, "Oh, come here. I love you. Come on, let's scoop you up. I'm sorry you're hurt. I'm going to nurture you. I'm going to love you. I'm going to support you. I'm going to defend you. I'm going to care for you." Now, both those loves without the other are dangerous loves. You got to have both. You got to have the hard side and the soft side. And so a parent wants that for their child. They want them to be a good person, to know how to be successful. They want them to be able to know how to act properly and to be kind to other people. But they also want to let them know, "I love you. No matter what you might do, no matter how you mess up, I am there for you all the way." Now, the world is filled with people who have what they would call conditional love, which is basically this right here. The world says to us, "Hey, if you'll change this about yourself, I will love you. If you'll be a better person, I will love you. If you'll be more successful, I will love you. If you'll be more popular, I will love you. If you'll do this for me, I will love you." It's not a picture of all of the kind of love we're talking about here, because God says, "I love you, period. I love you, end of statement. Nothing will ever change that. God says, "I love you." And then he asks a question, will you change? I love you, period. Will you change? He says, "I love you. Will you be in my kingdom? I love you. Will you discover who you are in me?" And the only answer to that question that's a good answer is a resounding yes. Yes, Father. I choose you and I receive your love. I was visiting with a student several years ago who was in a bad way. She had been very suicidal. She was actually in a hospital when I was visiting with her in Austin. And we're talking, and she finally just goes, "Bob, I am through with God." And she was very angry when she said, "I am just so through with God, done with it. I don't want anything to do with it anymore. And I said, well, are you happy? And she goes, no. I said, what? No, I'm not happy. I said, do you think there's a connection there? We began to talk. I will say this. Her response was so interesting to me because what she needed was the exact thing that she was rejecting. Happy ending to that story. She did rediscover the radical love of God, and it changed her life. Now her life is good. God is love. Just a simple preschool memory verse, but a profound theological statement that we can search the truth of for us in these days we find ourselves in.
Jesus paid it all to him I owe. Sin had left a crimson stain, he washed it white as snow. Jesus died my soul to save. My lips shall still repeat, Jesus paid it all to him I owe. Sin had left a crimson stain, he washed it white as snow. He washed it white as snow. He washed it white as snow. And oh, praise the one who paid my debt and raised this life up from the dead. Oh, praise the one who paid my debt and raised this life up from the dead. Oh, praise the one who paid my debt and raised this life up from the dead. Oh, praise the one who paid my debt and raised had left a crimson stain, he washed it white as snow. Sin had left, sin had left a crimson stain, he washed it white as snow.
Thank you for this opportunity you've given us to come here and worship, Lord. I just pray that the rest of the service will go smoothly, Lord. I just pray through this time we'll just use this time to grow closer to you, Lord, and just work on the small things to better our relationship with you, Lord. Just thank you for church, God. Thank you for the community. Thank you for friends. I just pray that you'll just help us stay connected with you and others through this time. And again, thank you for this time you've given us today to worship and to learn more about you. Amen.
Well, hey, thanks so much for that incredible message, Bob, and that worship set. Man, our band is amazing. If you have any questions or anything regarding tonight's message, please message us on Instagram, text someone on staff. If you want to get involved with something in our ministry, please feel free to reach out to one of us. We love to get you connected. Also, some breaking news for camp. We are going to camp so far. We are praying hard that it is able to happen. We have no guarantees, but we are hopeful. What we've done so far is we have split camp. First Woodway is going to go the first 3 days. So Sunday, July 12th to Wednesday, July 15th, we are going to be taking our kids to camp. And so with big prayers and big hopes out there, we are hoping to make this possible. So what you need to do right now is click this link right here so that you can go and register for camp, because registration is open and we have an exciting camp rally planned for you later this month.